See Malaysia's most iconic site and one of the world's tallest buildings. Get to know the inspiration behind the architecture. Learn about the many interesting events that have taken place here. This is the Petronas Twin Towers Guide. The Petronas Twin Towers are situated in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. They are often called KLCC, but KLCC stands for Kuala Lumpur City Centre, referring to the entire city centre, which is the area around the Twin Towers. This guide begins at the Petronas Twin Towers. To get there, if you're on a hop-on hop-off bus, just hop off at KLCC, or if you take the train, stop at the KLCC station. The Sky Bridge is open for visits every day from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. except Mondays. Entrance is free, but tickets are very limited and they are usually snapped up within the first few hours every morning. It is strongly advised that you start queuing up by 7:30 in the morning. Try your luck or come back again if you can't get a ticket. Up there you will be rewarded with a magnificent view of Kuala Lumpur. This audio guide is a guided walking tour. To begin, get yourself to the entrance of the towers and find a good spot near the fountains. The best place to stand is right at the staircase, where you will see many tourists taking photographs. Pause the audio guide and I will meet you there. Hello and apa khabar? That's how are you in Malay. Are you ready to visit the world's tallest twin buildings? By the end of this audio guide, be prepared for a stiff neck. I said tallest twin buildings because the Petronas Twin Towers are no longer the world's tallest building. However, they are still the world's tallest twin buildings. You can see the Twin Towers from almost anywhere in Kuala Lumpur, if other buildings are not blocking them. In fact, the Petronas Twin Towers can be seen even in other cities like Petaling Jaya, which is a city adjoining Kuala Lumpur. The Kuala Lumpur skyline would not be complete without the Twin Towers. From where you are, you can look all the way up to the top of the towers. I hope the sun is not shining too brightly, or else wait a little while. Look at the sheer height of the towers. Can you guess how many stories there are? I'll save you the trouble of counting. It has 88 stories, reaching a height of 379 meters. The height of the towers is measured to the top of its structural components. Antennas are not considered part of the building because they can be removed without causing a substantial change in the appearance and design. The pinnacles at the top of each tower give them another 73 meters. The overall height of the towers is 452 meters, which is the official height of the Petronas Twin Towers. The iconic towers are usually the first thing to be associated with Kuala Lumpur or Malaysia, and are a great pride to Malaysians. The towers were designed by the Argentine-American architect Cesar Pelli, a famous architect who was listed by the American Institute of Architects as one of the 10 most influential living American architects. Initially, the idea of making the towers the world's tallest building was not the plan, but right before construction, that became a goal, and the architect added the two tall cones that you see on the top of the towers. The building of the towers was an engineering miracle, or nightmare, depending on how you see it. The foundation was ready by 1994, and the construction of the towers began. Tower 1, which is on your right if you're facing it from the front, was built by a Korean company, while Tower 2, which is on your left, was built by a Japanese company. Korean and Japanese national flags were put on each building, and a friendly competition began as the flags rose higher and higher as the towers were being built. The friendly competition was finally won by the Koreans by a thin margin. The construction took about 7,000 workers. By 1996, the towers were completed, and the first tenants moved in 2 years later. In March 1999, the towers had their official opening. Take a good look at the design. It incorporates many elements from different religions in Malaysia. If you look from bottom to top, you will realize that the decorative spires resemble many Hindu temples, which have staggered steps that reach high into the sky. The rounded pinnacles at the top of each tower resemble the temples in Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Hints of Hindu Dravidian architecture are also seen in the increasingly smaller stories of pavilions stacked on top of each other. Rising layers of rings is common in Buddhist architecture, and this can also be seen in the Twin Towers. Islamic architecture also features prominently in the towers. Let your eyes go from the bottom to the top of the towers again. You'll see rhythmic and orderly patterns as well as organized columns and alternating niches, all of which are significant features in the design. The alternating niches and the steel protrusions create a wave illusion on the facade. If you look carefully, you will see that the base is actually in the shape of an 8-pointed star. This is the Islamic Rub el-Hizb symbol. The rounded columns are made to meet office space requirements. Islamic mosques are